Welcome to our Cicero regular town board meeting, Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023 at 6:30 PM. Please note there's two exits in the rear of the building and one to my right. If you would, please silence your cell phones. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing to remember those who are serving in harm's way. Thank you. Anybody here for public participation prior on any of the agenda items? If not, we'll move on to number 3.
Approval of abstracts. Move for the adoption of a resolution approving abstracts number 11 of 2023 dated 3/15/2023 and number 12 of 2023 dated 3/22/2023.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
There's vote no or abstain. Passed.
Approval of budget transfers. Move for the adoption of a resolution approving budget transfers as presented.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
There's vote no or abstain. Passed.
Resolution Firefighters South Bay 2022 Service Award Program points. Move adoption resolution approving the following resolution as presented. In the matter of approving the 2022 certified points. Whereas the town is the sponsor of the Length of Service Award Program, LOSAP, on behalf of the South Bay Fire Department in accordance with Article 11A of the New York State General Municipal Law, GML, and whereas required by GML 219-A2C, the South Bay Fire Department has submitted the attached list certified under oath of active members of the fire department, indicating those volunteers who earned at least 50 points during 2022 to qualify for service credit. And whereas the certification made by the fire department includes a statement that the points recorded on the list have been tabulated in accordance with the point system adopted by the town to be in effect during the calendar year of 2022. And to the best knowledge of the fire department is a true, accurate reflection of the activities performed by the active members. And whereas GML 219-A2D requires the town board to review and approve the attached list, and for the town supervisor to execute any necessary documents and return it to the fire department to be posted for 30 days. And whereas the town board has completed its review of the list, now therefore be it resolved that the town board approves the list available upon request of volunteer firefighters of the South Bay Fire Department and the points earned by these firefighters during the calendar year of 2022. And be it further resolved that the copy of this adopted resolution and the list shall be returned to the fire department for posting for a minimum of 30 days. Be it further resolved that the supervisor has the authority to execute with the concurrence of the town board any and all necessary documentation relate to this resolution.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
To vote no or abstain. Passed. If I could on the next one, number 6. Yes. Roll call. Okay, clerk, call a roll.
Can you click the button?
Your mic.
Counselor Carr.
Yes.
Counselor Marizio.
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo.
There's no conflict for me. I'm not a South Bay member, right?
No.
Yeah, no. Yep. Aye.
Supervisor Aragano.
Yes. Number 6, if I can have
Thank you.
Art Lyman come up and speak. Yeah, for the proposed zone change.
There's a lot of further results.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Brian Bouchard with CHA Consulting. Also Guy Hart with the Hart Lyman Companies, who's the applicant and developer for this proposed zone change. We did submit a graphic, if you have that up on there. So we've submitted an application for a zone change for property at 6800 South Bay Road. That's okay.
I think you had it in Chrome in a different tab. Oh, no. The other, no, that,
Go one more.
What?
Nope, the Chrome one, the one, middle one, that one.
that one.
Up top.
There we go, zone change map, yep. That's it, yeah, that's perfect, thank you. So 6,800 South Bay Road is a 70-acre parcel right at the corner of South Bay and Lake Shore Road. The rear portion of the lot is existing legacy zoning, so AG agricultural zoning, basically a vacant parcel. And the zone change application that we've submitted is to change that zoning from agricultural to RM, which would allow for multifamily and a variety of residential uses. And I'll let Guy give you the background on his interest in the property and how it could be developed.
Here we go. Hart Lyman has had this property under contract before, and we are nearing a point where we want to close on the real estate. Given the current economic climate we're in, the financing and the debt and equity cycle being where it is, there is really an abundance of caution on the part of those parties that we would be closing with. And there's a need to have a certainty from a zoning perspective on that parcel. So we somewhat decided to change course from simply including it in our PUD process, closing on the real estate, including our PUD process. Instead, we're going to go for the zone change. There is a chance that certain portions after that zone change will be included in a future PUD application. But for us to have the ability to know that there is a multifamily option for the real estate in the event that there's any issues with the PUD is very important for our ability to be able to close on the real estate. That's really all I got. But we do believe it's given that corridor, what's happening in the county and in this town, that it's the best use for the real estate.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Anybody else? No? Okay.
No, I don't really think, I mean, at this point, since there are no plans or anything, I don't really think I have any questions. I guess look forward to seeing how this goes through the process of the planning board, and then we'll see you again for a public hearing that we're going to be setting.
Thank
Very
you.
well. Thank you. Have a good night.
Number 6, move for the adoption of resolution that town board of the town of Cicero assume the role of lead agency pursuant to the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act in regards to the application known as Hart and Lyman Companies for a change in zoning district from the agricultural AG to residential multifamily RM for the property located at 6,800 South Bay Road, tax map number 080.02-35.0 to accommodate multifamily development of the property.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Should vote no or abstain, passed. Number 7, move for the adoption resolution calling for a public hearing on April 26, 2023. Commencing at 6:30 PM local time to consider the application known as Hart and Lyman Companies for a change in zone district from agricultural AG to residential multifamily RM for the property located at 6,800 South Bay Road, tax map number 080.02-35.0 to accommodate multifamily development of the property.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Should vote no or abstain, passed.
Move the adoption resolution authorizing the Youth Bureau, Parks and Recreation Department to move forward with submitting an application for $50,000 funding from the Community Development Block Grant for enhancements at the Cicero Senior Center, as well as the 5-year plan as required by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The town board further agrees to allocate $12,500 in funds to meet the 25% required match for this grant.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Should vote no or abstain, passed.
Move the adoption resolution calling for a public hearing on April 12th, 2023 at 6:30 PM local time to consider the 2023 Community Development Grant application for enhancements to the Cicero Senior Center.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Move the adoption resolution that the town board approves the step increase for Parks laborer Kyle Ellis from step one at $21.10 per hour to step two, $21.94 per hour, retroactive to January 23rd, 2023.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
To vote no or abstain, passed.
I wish I had some water up here for this next one. Move the adoption resolution. The town board approves the following resolution as presented. Whereas a project for the New York 739 revitalization and redevelopment of the Hamlet of Brewerton Phase 2, Route 11 from Guy Young Road to Bennett Street, PIN 395077. Hereinafter, the project is eligible for funding under Title 23 U.S. Code as amended. The cost, the apportionment of the cost of the program to be borne at the ratio of 80% federal funds and 20% non-federal funds, and partially 100% federal funds. And whereas the town of Cicero desires to advance the project by making a commitment of 100% of the non-federal share of the cost of construction and inspection. Now, therefore, the town board of Cicero duly convened does hereby resolve that the town of Cicero hereby approves the above subject project. It is hereby further resolved the town of Cicero board hereby authorizes the town of Cicero to pay first instance 100% of the federal and non-federal share of the cost of construction and inspection work for the project or portions thereof. And it is further resolved, the sum of $2,103,306 is hereby appropriated by $1,720,306 in federal funding, $287,250 in state funding, and $95,750 in local funding, with the local funding included in the town's budget and made available to cover the costs of participation in the above phase of the project. And it's further resolved that in the event the full federal and non-federal share costs of the project exceed the amount appropriated above, the town of Cicero board shall convene as soon as possible to appropriate said excess amount immediately upon the notification by the NMLS DOT thereof. And it's further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution shall be filed with the New York State Commissioner of Transportation by attaching it to any necessary agreement in connection with the project. And it is further resolved this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Second.
Discussion?
Roll call.
Oh. Roll call? Roll call? Quick call the roll.
Yes. Counselor Carr,
Aye.
Counselor Maurizio,
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Aragano.
Yes. Number 10, move for the adoption resolution approving CES for a fee up to $67.37 to provide groundwater sampling and analysis at the Cicero landfill to meet the town's 2023 post-closure monitoring requirements, budget code A14404.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed. Consulting services agreement with Haler, Fryer and Kuhn with the adoption resolution that the town board approves the counseling services agreement with Haler, Fryer and Kuhn and Haler Company. And Haler Company for safety consultant services for the town of Cicero that may include but not limited to PESH compliance and assistance, PESH advocacy, fleet safety, property protection, and general safety management. The scope of the work may include research, meeting preparations, on-site visits, training, inspections, and general loss control advocacy services. The town board authorizes supervisor to execute the consulting services agreement.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Move for the adoption of a resolution that the town board approves the parade permit for the James Harvey Spire American Legion Post 787 Memorial Day Parade to be held on Monday, May 29th, 2023 at 11 a.m. The route of the procession will start at the Cicero Cemetery, 8554 Brewerton Road, and proceed south on Brewerton Road to Route 31 to the James Harvey Spire American Legion on 5575 Legionnaire Drive, Cicero, New York. Also to approve the expenditure in the amount of $500 to help defer the cost of the Memorial Day Parade and ceremonies. The town board authorizes the supervisor to execute the parade permit.
Second.
Discussion.
This is a change of time, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. It's 11 a.m. instead of noon. Discussion, any more? All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Highway Department, approve the purchase of drainage pipe. Move the adoption resolution, the town board authorizes approval to Steel Sales, the state contract number 23187 for 4,500 assorted 12-inch and 10-inch drainage pipe, couplers, tees, etc., in the amount of $30,000 from the budget code of DB 11045.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
Approve the order of a 10-wheel truck with plow equipment. Move the adoption resolution that the town board authorizes approval to order a 2025 10-wheel truck with plow equipment from Beam Max Sales Service, Inc., state contract number 8996, in the amount of $300,445.35 from ARPA funds.
Mike, that's 306.
What?
306.
306, my apologies.
Chris, you want to give us a little heads up on this because Chris and I had an opportunity to talk about the other two estimates. Yep. Thanks, Chris. Anyone else? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
I think you're taking C on it, John.
Right. Move the adoption resolution, town board approves road projects subject to change for 2023 at a cost of $1,052,577.50 and authorizes the execution of the highway agreement between the highway superintendent and the town board in accordance with section 284 of the highway law. Budget code, $950,000 of those dollars will come from the budget with additional appropriation of $102,577.50 from ARPA funds.
Second.
On that, I would like to talk about the one road that we wish to remove.
Oh, yeah, and we will, Neil, do I have to move to amend the 284 agreement that's attached to strike one of the, do we need to do that separately or as part of this resolution? Okay, this resolution will also strike Carmenica Drive from the 284 agreement at this time.
And the reason being there may be some development back there and there's no sense of replacing a road right now and then having them come back and dig it up next year. Absolutely not smart. So we'll move through that. Anybody else?
I'd just like to point out, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Woznicka, this is the first time, to your knowledge, we spent over $1 million on roads, correct?
I had a quick question. If we're striking Carmetica, does that mean more get approved or the same roads that run the list will be?
It could be.
We would have additional funds, correct me if I'm wrong, to possibly add a different road.
Yep.
But the highway agreement can be amended later, so, yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, passed.
And then approve the purchase of traffic paint. Move the adoption resolution that the town board authorizes the approval to purchase 1,650 gallons of traffic paint for striping the town roads from Sherwin-Williams Company, state contract number PC 69554, award number 23252 in the amount of $22,393.25 and budget code DB 33104.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, the paint of the cost of traffic paint has drastically increased as well.
And I'd also like to make a comment that last year on our painting, with the monies that we were able to get for the painting, we also did all of the other parking lots throughout the town, the parks and the police department, the canteen, the senior center and the park up in Brewerton. So this isn't just for our roads, but thanks, Chris.
Those you and me, right?
Yes.
You.
Yeah. So this year we'll do the same. All in favor?
Aye.
You just vote no or abstain, passed.
And E, approve necessary warranty and PESH safety issued electrical work at the highway department. Move the adoption resolution, the town board authorizes the approval for NAP Electric, original electric contractor for the highway garage, to install emergency lights, relocate 3 room sensors, install additional outlets in the sign room, also provide a split system heat and AC in the sign room, relocate an enunciator, thank you. Panel into break room, install fixtures and switches replaced by the supplier under warranty in the amount of $20,000 from the budget code DB 51324.
Second.
Discussion. This area here and the reason behind making these and fixing these issues that we had a PESH inspection from Haler. And these are the recommendations they gave, right, Chris? Okay, we also have some that we're looking at for our Parks Department as well, some lighting and some relocation of some electrical switches. Anybody else? Nope, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes, to vote no or abstain, passed. One more item that I have for in discussion here. We had a emergency purchase of a part for a truck, and I'll read it. Emergency purchase for a cylinder assembly for the bucket truck. Move the adoption resolution that the town board authorize the purchase of a bucket cylinder rotator assembly knuckle for truck number 26, an emergency purchase for I'm going to guess it's Synron equipment in the amount of $6,570.79 from account DB 513055.
Second.
Anybody second?
Oh, yeah,
No?
second.
Discussion.
Yeah,
Chris, this is, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're.
This is for our grapple truck, brush truck. Okay, good. By the way, how's that going so far? Yeah.
Let you know, a couple days.
So the grapple truck actually is important for brush, because there has been some discussion about that with past vendors. Glad to hear it.
Yes. Okay, do we
haven't
all in
voted
favor?
Aye.
Any wish to vote no or abstain? Passed. Discussion. First, I have Terry Manning here from the Bridgeport Chamber Civic Organization out in Bridgeport. And Terry and I and the supervisor, John Becker, have been working diligently to try to spruce up the Bridgeport area. And we just want to have a little conversation with the board and the public about what would be what we'd like to see up there. I think I had some conversations with some of the board members already regarding this. And
I didn't realize you guys were so high tech. I did bring this on a flash drive for you, but I've resorted to the old fashioned way. I see some friendly faces in the room. That's a good thing. My name is Terry Manning. I'm chairman of the Bridgeport Civic Organization. That little hamlet on the far eastern end of your jurisdiction. We have a dual personality. Not only are we part of the town of Cicero, we're also part of the town of Sullivan, Madison County, and Onondaga County. Therefore, anything we try to do in the community, we had to do it twice. So here I am. Mike brought to me an opportunity to beautify and enhance our community. If you look at the second page, I'm sorry I didn't put this up on the screen for everybody, but what we're talking about doing is putting banners on the light poles coming into the hamlet of Bridgeport on both the town of Cicero side and the town of Sullivan side. We got 3 different quotes from design shops here in Cicero. We asked for downtown decoration in Syracuse. And we also asked Riley's Outdoors out of Philadelphia for quotes. I got 2 good solid quotes. The best quote I got to do 60 of these, okay, 30 on each side of the bridge was a grand total of $15,000. And the town of Cicero's share of that would be $7,500. So I guess I'm proposing that as a motion to your board to support us in our community and our enhancement efforts. That $15,000 includes everything, top to bottom. It includes banners that are Sunbrella, okay, with a 3-year minimum guarantee. They're 30 by 60, so they're going to show up. There's also an updatable and replaceable advertiser section on the bottom that we will use down the road to subsidize the actual cost of these so that we're not coming back to you every 3 years asking you for another $15,000. One of the realistic situations we have in the hamlet of Bridgeport right now, we don't have a heavy business base the way you do in the town of Cicero. So we need to make it very, very affordable for these guys. And I'm talking probably about $75 for the advertiser banner per year. That'll give us enough money to keep the thing going and keep things fresh and keep our community enhancing itself as we go along. That includes all the hardware, that includes installation. The other guys wanted to piecemeal it, okay? They wanted us to buy the banners, to get somebody else to install them. I feel very, very comfortable with design shops. I've worked with them personally on some other things. So I'm requesting your support.
Thank you, Terry.
Questions?
Anybody have any questions on this? We won't be voting on this tonight, Terry. I just want to do a presentation. Okay. And then have a discussion with our board.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Can I
Thank
ask
you.
a question?
Go ahead.
Thank
go ahead.
you.
Yeah.
What's the turnaround and timetable for this?
My personal goal is to try to get this done through, I'm here in front of you guys, I'll be in front of the town of Sullivan in a couple weeks. And design shop told me it would take them probably 5 weeks to turn around.
Okay.
I'm hopeful to get this done and installed by tomorrow. That's my personal goal, but it's gonna take some action. Okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Terry.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? I have, I think, 2 more things. So I had the opportunity to spend the afternoon with some of our folks from the Parks and Rec and Bill Alley over here, who received an Outstanding Service Award. And I'd like to read this. Actually, I'm going to let John read this. I'm going to let John read this. If John would read it, please. Sure.
With authority.
Outstanding Service Award, Bill Alley, Town of Cicero. Bill has worked for the Town of Cicero Parks Department for over 18 years. He started out as a Parks Laborer and was promoted to Parks Labor Crew Leader. He currently oversees the maintenance of the town's extensive Parks Department, including 8 parks, 7 cemeteries, 3 park and rides, the Canteen Teen Center, the Cicero Senior Center, and assists with projects and events at the Town Hall Police Station and 3 fire stations. Bill has been described as an excellent supervisor to his staff. He has vast knowledge of construction, equipment operation, and maintenance, facility maintenance. He provides great customer service. He is a problem solver and the go-to guy for just about everything. So the projects he has worked on over the years include the reconstruction of bridges, decks, and ramps with his carpentry skills and repairing bleachers, dock floats, playgrounds, and mower equipment utilizing his welding skills. Bill also designed and built geese harassment cutouts to prevent geese from coming on shore at the beach, earning him the nickname the Geese Whisperer. Outside of work, Bill is the type of neighbor and friend we all wish we had, whether he's helping his neighbor with repairs around the house or checking in on his friend's elderly parents. Bill is always going out of his way to help others. He also enjoys volunteering his time for things like Earth Day cleanups, the Gus Macker basketball tournament, installing a new concrete pad at the Cicero Little League Pavilion, and more. He even drove 3 hours round trip on his own time to pick up a trailer for the canteen. Everyone who has had the pleasure to work with Bill has had nothing but wonderful things to say, such as Bill is the ultimate Parks and Recreation staff member and community resident. He's a hard worker, an environmental steward, and a great role model for everyone who comes in contact with him. And Bill has dedication to service, both professionally and personally. He's the type of coworker, staff member, parks representative, union steward, and friend that anyone would be grateful to have in their corner.
And added added bullet that wasn't there was in,
Do you have
added
your-
bullet that wasn't in the
do
list.
you have
was-
your certificate with you tonight? or
Bring your award.
You did, you brought it? Okay, we'll get some pictures after.
And then
Cool.
added,
I just wanted to add that the entry wasn't like, it was for all of the parks departments in central New York. So he won that on behalf of all of the local park departments. So
then
That's awesome.
added
you.
bullet that wasn't on the list was help me get the striping machine working for the Cicero Falcons. That was awesome a couple years ago. That was a struggle. Yeah.
Okay, anyone else? No? Thank you, Bill. Recently, we applied for, some of the businesses in the town applied for the Main Street grant. And I am here to inform everybody, and I'm the recipients, I don't believe were, advised yet, correct? I'm not going to say their names, who they are, but I will tell you that the 2023 Onondaga County Main Street program has been approved. The town will receive the amount of $495,568,000. The application promised a match of $165,904 for a total investment in our community of $661,472. That's awesome. I just want to thank Kate, Steve for all their hard work, getting these applications in and processed. Anyone else? Anyone else have anything? Discussion items? No? Anybody from the public like to come up and speak?
Don Snyder, Legionnaire Drive. Help me out on number 9 that we approved tonight. Am I reading this wrong, or do we have to come up with the 100% of the state and federal money first before this project gets done, and then they'll reimburse us after it's done?
Okay, that's correct.
Do we have that $2 million sitting somewhere?
Elko will take care of it. She'll have to bond, just like on Darlene's Brook, how we did Darlene's Brook. If we don't have the money, she'll have to take a ban. But that's the way it works with this type of financing.
And this project will start in spring of
2024.
2024.
I think we got to make sure that the public knows that the way the government works, we have to pay this $2 million up front. We have to borrow money because they approved a project that we needed to have in our town. And the other thing that scares me is, of course, we also tonight agreed that if the numbers are wrong and they've underestimated it, we will quickly have a meeting and we will approve the funds, God knows from where, we'll borrow again. But it doesn't say that they will reimburse us for the money that we might borrow if in fact their numbers are wrong. So I just, I think we need to make sure that taxpayers understand that. And we will end up seeing an increase in our budget next year for borrowing, not because of anything you guys did wrong, but because that's the way the government works.
And it's too bad we couldn't get all the money up front from them to do the projects. And this is the way stuff does work.
Right.
I agree.
But I do want to bring up two things. So what Mr. Snyder says technically is correct. But in the past, for like Darlene's Brook, when it went over and it kept going over and the state provided all that money, they provided so much more that actually the town of Cicero's share went down to under $100,000 for that whole project. It's just, everybody just heard about it for so many years and these big numbers, but the town actually paid in the $90,000 for that entire project. This project, we already, I believe, approved ARPA funds for $304,000 for the town share. The state went back, got us more money. So according to this, we're only on the hook for $95,000. I suggest we still keep that money in the background in case it does go over, but there is the chance that they could give us what goes over. I think for the opportunity, I think we've looked at this streetscape. It will just be so worth it to have this completed and done and off our plate. But so those are the things that I hope it works out as well as Darlene's Brook did.
We've also met with the DOT, had a great conversation with them regarding the bridge project. And the roundabout is going to start in, what's the email I got today?
They said it should be awarded in August and they anticipate it, really construction beginning in September. But they're going to work for a few months, then they're going to shut down for the winter. And then it'll be pretty much all next season going
And
into
our
it.
sidewalk should be started here in another month or two. Up
Oh,
Route
good.
11. They've been pretty responsive and pretty informative in working with us, I'd have to say. So that's a good thing. Anybody else like to speak? No?
Can I just promote an upcoming event? We are hosting a spaghetti dinner at the senior center this Saturday evening to raise money for the canteen. The cost is $10 at the door or $7 in advance. If you want to buy tickets, let us know. There'll be a dessert raffle there again as well. Again, that's this Saturday night. And then we are also partnering with the festival committee to do a bunny breakfast on Palm Sunday at the VFW in North Syracuse from 8 to noon. And you don't have to register, just show up, the VFW on Maxwell Ave on Palm Sunday, bunny breakfast. Thank you.
Thanks.
3:30 to 6 at the senior center. Thank you.
Good evening, Judy Boyke, Muskrat Bay. Mr. Snyder and I were discussing the latest Marshall program and the $2 million. My concern is this project that's supposed to start in 2024 going to be the same time that they're going to be tearing down the Route 11 bridge over the river?
Go ahead. I'll let you answer it.
Okay, the projects should go, the bridge and our streetscape should go to bid right about the same time. Ours will go to construction spring 2024. At the same time, DOT will be building a temporary bridge on the west side of the Route 11 bridge. So they will be building the temporary bridge during our project. The following year, the bridge will be knocked down and they'll replace it. So there's already been coordination that the two things could happen. We anticipate ours will probably happen first, but they could happen at the same time as the temporary bridge.
With the temporary bridges going up on the west side, that means it's going up on the two pieces of property that we were looking to get.
The state owns those two pieces of property now.
Know that, yes.
Until the project is over, then they're going
Then-
to turn them over to the town.
But wasn't that the bargaining tool that they were using to give to us once we can finish this project, the lighting or the streetscape project? Wasn't that part of the deal?
I think they were going to give it to us as soon as the bridge project was done. I believe it was unrelated to the streetscape project.
It's just the bridge. So they waited to turn it over to us after.
Okay, it was my understanding that we had to go ahead with the streetscapes project before those two pieces of property would become ours when it was done. I'll just check into it.
I never heard that.
Right.
I
Well,
didn't hear that.
I'm sure it's in there, but thank you. Oh, one other thing. Something of that nature that's so large, if it could be discussed prior to where the financing was coming from and how we were going to go about doing it before it was passed. And it seems like we're going ahead with planning board zone changes before the planning board actually has even seen the plans for a zone change. In fact, this one tonight, they just got the paperwork. I know that because I was concerned. The last one with Sesta, that was done before the public hearing was set up, before the planning board even referred it to you guys. So it looks like we're getting a cart in front of the horse.
I don't think so. I think that they need to come to us before they go to them. This is the,
Yeah, but not before they come with the plan, the actual plan. I'm just saying it has always been before. This is the last two times. When the planning board refused it to
This still has to go in front of. the planning
reference.
board.
Understand, but you've already got a public hearing going and it hasn't even, the planning board hasn't even discussed it.
And if the planning board just turns it down, and then it's a moot point, you can come back to the town board.
Yeah, Judy, this is standard process. So they go
This
set the public
seems-
hearing out a month or month and a half. The application is received by the town board, referred to the planning board. It goes to the planning board for whatever, recommendation they're going to make, comes back.
So normalcy is that
Yeah.
the planning board doesn't have to recommend it before, it comes before the town board.
Sure they do. Yeah, that's going to go to the planning board between now and the public hearing.
True. All right.
Right. It has
Thank
to go
you.
down. Thank you. Anyone else? No? Make a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.